Well, a federal Labor MP based in Alice Springs has called on the Northern Territory's Child Protection Minister to concentrate on her job after she criticised the Opposition Leader Peter Dutton. Let's take you live to Matt Cunningham. He's in Darwin. Matt, this comes after we saw yesterday Mr Dutton was raising this issue of child sex abuse. He has that trip, of course, to the Northern Territory, and we saw him speaking extensively about that then. What sort of reaction has there been there on the ground?
Well, there was quite a furious reaction yesterday afternoon. We heard from the Labor Senator, Malarndirri McCarthy, who urged Mr Dutton to report any claims he may be aware of to police. We then heard from Kate Worden, who's the Minister for Police and Territory Families, the department that runs child protection here in the Northern Territory. And she had this to say about Peter Dutton's comments.
What we've seen over the last couple of days from Peter Dutton in Central Australia is absolutely opportunistic game playing, political game playing, and using the most vulnerable people here in the heart of our nation in Central Australia as a pawn in that game. It's quite frankly a dog act.
Now, since then, we've heard from Labor's MP for Lingiari, Marion Scrimger. She's based in Alice Springs. She was speaking on ABC Radio this morning. Here's what she had to say.
I think that Kate Worden and her department need to do their work. I think Kate Worden needs to look at her department and herself, to look at the Act and to deal with this issue and to deal with it now.
Matt, those of us who were watching that news conference yesterday saw that Mr Dutton was asked to actually produce the data behind the sort of claims he was making around this abuse. I understand you've been doing a bit of research on that front and found the hard facts on this. What have you found? Talk us through it.
Well, this is the latest data that's available from the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. It is data from the 2020-21 financial year, but it is the latest data available on their website. Now, it shows that the number of children subject to a child protection notification or investigation in the Northern Territory is significantly higher than in any other jurisdiction. If you look at these numbers, it's 23.5 per 1,000 children in New South Wales, Victoria 21.1, Queensland 19.8, Western Australia 19.2. In the Northern Territory, that number is 95.5, so significantly higher than any other jurisdiction in the country. Now, it should be noted that the rates of substantiations are lower in the Northern Territory. You have the second lowest number of substantiations when those notifications are made, but our rates of substantiated child abuse in the Northern Territory are also significantly higher than in any other jurisdiction. And if you look at them broken down by age group, again, this is data from the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. For children under the age of 1, the national average 16.6 per 1,000. In the Northern Territory, that number is 63.8. For children aged 1 to 4, the national average is 9.2. In the Northern Territory, that number is 26.6. For children aged 5 to 9, the national average 8.2 per 1,000 children. In the Northern Territory, 22.7. And for children aged 10 to 14, the national average is 8.4. In the Northern Territory, it's 25.9. And I can tell you that the Northern Territory numbers are significantly higher, up to 3 times higher in every case than any other state or territory in Australia. Now, last hour, Laura Jays spoke to Jodine Carney. She's a former CLP opposition leader, but after her time in politics, she was actually put in charge of the Northern Territory's Child Protection Department. Here's a bit of what she had to say about this issue.
Politicians in government tend to play down the extent of child protection. And of course, the Territory government's got fires on many different fronts at the moment. Issues with the Police Commissioner, problems in Alice Springs, one of the biggest demonstrations in Darwin about crime only a few weeks ago. So is it surprising that a government seeks to downplay child protection? No. Is it disappointing? Yes.
Jodine Carney made the point that political slanging matches, she said, should be out of bounds when it comes to the issue of child protection. Probably a good point to make, but certainly not happening in this case, Ash.